Well, hey, Carmen, do you know how to do anything? Can you help me? I mean, can you help me split wood? And can you help me erect a stone wall?
I'm 85 years old.
So
What
what's
Every
that got
time
to do
he-
with it?
Every time he talks, he's a year older, you know?
I just
Carmine.
had shoulder surgery, and I was told I don't need hip surgery.
Okay, then. All right, forget it. I'm out.
I thank you for the offer, but I don't like cold weather, dear.
Oh, you would like it when I've got a nice fire going.
Yeah.
I can understand you're a hot woman. I can tell you that.
Oh, golly. I had a guy come all the way from California. He arrived yesterday and he was going to pick me up at 7:00 for dinner. And I canceled out on Sunday saying, hey, buddy, I don't know what I was thinking. I have to get up early for Earlybird Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you gave up a hot date for us?
I haven't seen him in 60 years.
Oh.
So figure that.
He's older and fatter.
Yeah.
He could surprise you. He could surprise you. There's still some good men left out there.
Yeah.
Couple.
Everybody's looking for romance, sometimes in the wrong place.
I'm not looking. He just showed up on my Facebook and asked to be friends. I recognized his name, and then
So he was looking in the wrong place.
All right,
too.
everyone. Good morning, everyone. It is now
Good
7
morning.
a.m. and that means it is time for our Earlybird Toastmasters meeting. I am Randolph Bastine, your Sergeant at Arms. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive, positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, which results in greater self-confidence and personal growth. As we continue to meet by Zoom, we ask that you practice good Zoom etiquette by keeping yourself muted unless you're an active speaker. We encourage you to use the chat feature and send a message to everyone or a private message of encouragement to the speaker. And now it is my honor to introduce to you our presiding officer, Paulo Barone.
Yay!
Buongiorno. One moment, something's not working here in my background. One moment. How is everybody doing? Buongiorno. Good morning.
Buongiorno, Paulo.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, because I'm gonna take you to a special place. Yes, it's not working. All right, not a problem.
There it is. You got it. Whoops.
Something's not working. All right. I have for a reason. It's okay. Not a problem. Yeah, you're stuck with my picture. All right. In the meantime, I fix the situation here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Earlybird Toastmasters, the peak of the week. All right. This is the place where we develop our communication muscles, where we acquire communication strength. And let's welcome to the lectern, to the virtual stage, Invocator this morning, Toastmaster Scott May. Toastmaster May, please go ahead with the invocation.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. So a mindful invocation this morning. So slowing down for a minute, taking a moment to pause, taking a moment to shift from our doing mode to being mode. So inviting you for just a moment to settle in and rest the eyes, whatever that means for you, and to check in with yourself. Asking yourself, how am I feeling physically? What emotions and thoughts are here? Taking a moment to notice, how am I? And then seeing if there's something that can rise with gratitude. Maybe finding one thing you can be grateful for. Maybe big, maybe small. Maybe a hot cup of coffee. Or remembering a soft pillow from last night. Whatever comes up, sensing gratitude and savoring that sense of gratitude. Breathing it in, breathing it out. And then if you wish, sending this sense of gratitude out to the world. Inviting your grateful energy to float out and rest and find someone who needs a little today. Taking one more breath and returning back to our meeting. Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster May. I'm definitely grateful that my background is working. Otherwise, I would be in trouble today. All right.
What about the pledge?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Toastmaster May, please, would you?
Wow, Pledge of Allegiance. Haven't done that in 100 years. Okay, let's see if I remember it. I don't know it. I honestly don't know it. I'm gonna have to pass it to somebody else.
We know.
I pledge
I pledge
allegiance
allegiance
to the flag
Of the
of the
United States
States of America
America.
and to
and
the
and to
republic
the republic
for which it stands,
and
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and
and
justice for all.
justice for all.
Thank you for filling in.
Thank you. And help me welcome now to the virtual stage the joke master, which is of course Toastmaster Richmond. Please.
Yeah, you guys, you know I have trouble selecting men, but I'm going to tell you about my friend John, 5 days a week, every week. But last couple of weeks ago, instead of coming home on Friday night, he got his paycheck and he went out with his buddies. He went out drinking and gambling. Oh my God. He came home Sunday night and his wife said, "Ah, where have you been? Blah, blah, blah. You've gone, you spent all your money. How would you like it if you didn't see me for 3 days?" And he says, "Well, that wouldn't be so bad." So Monday and Tuesday, he didn't see his wife. And Wednesday, the same thing. But now on Thursday, he was able to see just a little bitty bit of her out of the corner of his left eye because the swelling had gone down. Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richmond. Thank you. Since you are there on the stage, stay there and let us know, please, the word of the day, because you are also the grammarian of the day. Please.
Okay, kids, the word of the day is quintessential. I keep hearing this word on TCM. They talk about different actors and stuff. Quintessential is an adjective representing the most perfect or typical example of a quality or class. For example, a quintessential small town, a quintessential athlete. Used in a sentence, I am looking for the quintessential tough guy, strong, silent, self-contained, and generous. Back to you, Mr. President.
All right, quintessential. Nice job. Nice word of the day, quintessential. Okay, time for the self-introductions. Let's start with the very beginning. Our Sergeant at Arms, the first one to speak at Earlybird Toastmaster every Thursday morning. Toastmaster Bastine, please.
Good morning, Mr. Presiding Officer, all fellow Toastmasters, and any most welcome guests. I am Randolph Bastine, the Sergeant at Arms, Motivational Strategies 2, Level 2. And quintessential, I would say I probably will be part of Toastmasters for a long time because I'm far from anything perfect, and I do enjoy to learn and try to be better, but I probably won't make it to the perfect before I say goodbye to the world. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bastine. We are all in the same boat. And let me tell you, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every Thursday, progress. We don't care about perfection. It's getting better every time with every meeting. And, you know, as long as we are present, we don't have to be perfect. All right. Let's see. DTM Toastmaster Helen Day.
Yes, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and our guest, welcome to our meeting. Quintessential, boy, I don't get an opportunity to use that word very often, so I like it. But I have to think of an example. Maybe Putin is the quintessential dictator. He shows all the characteristics of being absolutely perfect in his role. Mr. President.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Day. From one DTM to another. Yes, because we have a lot of DTMs in this club. DTM Barkley.
A wonderful day, a wonderful day. My dear wife is going to bring the quintessential cup of coffee, perhaps before the meeting is over, or I'll have to go looking for it. Either way, it's a good morning. She's home today. Glad to be here.
Thank you, DTM Barkley. And right next to you on my screen is Toastmaster Tom Quinn. Please.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, my name is Tom Quinn. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale when the weather is quintessentially beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely wonderful. And I'm looking at my screen and I see smiling faces of joy and happiness. And it's nice to be here, nice to be seen, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Quinn. Let's hear now from our General Evaluator of the Day, Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire.
Good morning, Mr. Presiding Officer, my fellow Toastmasters, and our most welcome guests. I am Pam Scrimshire. I'm working on the Motivational Strategies pathway and the Engaging Humor pathways. And I quickly looked up, and I don't think I know the difference between quintessential and stereotypical, because aren't they both ones that showed like the example of? So maybe quintessential is good and stereotypes are bad. Anyway, another opportunity to learn. So I will be reading about that after the meeting. Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Scrimshire. And let's see now from the Toastmaster who has in his background a cat of the size of a lion. Toastmaster Day.
Good morning, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. My name is Jim Day, DTM, your timer for today and your treasurer. And I am absolutely blessed in that I have the quintessential wife, Mr. President.
Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Day. And let's hear now from Anna Ilsen, Toastmaster Ilsen, the beautiful Sunrise Beach.
I thought you were going to say the beautiful Anna Ilsen. Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. My name is Anna Ilsen, Innovative Planner 3, Engaging Humor Level 3. I had never seen the movie The Wizard of Oz. A few years ago, I mentioned it to my friend Becky Jo, and she was beside herself. She said, that is totally un-American. So she rented the DVD back in those days of the beta and the I don't know what. She brought it over, she put it in, and we sat down and I watched the movie. So now I guess I'm quintessentially American. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ilsen. And let's hear now from Carmine Toso, so elegant this morning. Wow, please.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. And you are the quintessential sparkle of the day for me. The quintessential sparkle. And even though I've been invited to go and live in Pennsylvania, look, she's eager for me to come there. I can't believe this. Look. Anyway, that's a quintessential joy for me to feel like somebody is caring and wants me around. Because I've been feeling like I am being sanctioned like Putin. It's just an unbelievable experience for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tuozzo. And let's hear now from the lady from Pennsylvania, Toastmaster Richmond.
Mr. Presiding Officer, fellow Toastmasters, our friends, the geeks, the Goulds are not here, and you may know and remember that Jim Gould has convinced me that the Starlink satellite internet system is the quintessential internet for me. But as you can see my background, I am surrounded by trees. And for some reason, that Starlink satellite, when it adjusts, it points right to my big giant sycamore tree. So that's why I have little freeze frames, but there are no leaves on that tree right now. So that is not the quintessential location for that satellite dish. Anyway, Alita Richmond from Pennsylvania, Persuasive Influence 5, Presentation Mastery, working on completing 5, and I'm giving it to you, Kip. I'm giving it to Earlybirds because my club has already too many. Anyway, and I'm also doing engaging humor, whatever you said. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, thank you. And the Starlink thing is definitely working because you sound better, you look better on Zoom. So absolutely is working 100%. Keep it. And let's see here now again from Toastmaster May. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, fellow Toastmasters, and our most welcome guest. I'm Scott May. I am working on the Presentation Mastery Pathway. And this morning, again, another quintessential Toastmaster meeting. Look at all these bright, shiny faces early on a Thursday. This is the meeting of meetings. Glad to be here. Back to you.
I love it. The meeting of meetings. Wow. I'm going to use that in the future. I love it. The meeting, Earlybird Toastmasters, the meeting of meetings. Woo. I love it. Thank you, Toastmaster May. I'm going to write it down, otherwise I forget. And let's see. Oh, now it's time to hear from our welcome guest, Val. Thank you for coming back and visiting us again. You're always welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Val, and I have a bobblehead of Shakespeare on my desk, and I consider him the quintessential poet.
Thank you, thank you. Welcome and enjoy the meeting. And my name is Paulo Barone, the presiding officer of Earlybird Toastmasters, coming to you today virtually from Piazza San Marco in Venice, San Marco Square. Why? Because later I'm going to take you all virtually on a 7-minute gondola ride to the Grand Canal. Get ready. Shortly, you're going to be on the gondola with me. All right, let's see. Time to introduce the conductor of this amazing train to success called Earlybird Toastmasters, which today is none other than DTM Keep Berkeley. Please.
Thank you so much, Paulo. Thank you. Here we are, our Toastmaster meeting, and yes, it's divided into 3 parts. We're going to start off with table topics, impromptu questions thrown at people. We'll be gentle with our guest. She can watch this. If she wants to, she can play. Then we'll have prepared speeches, and then we will have loving evaluations. But we also have helpers. We have a grammarian, Toastmaster Richmond.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The grammarian gives the word of the day. Today's word is quintessential. The grammarian throughout the meeting will be listening for good use of grammar and noting that in a report at the end, also noting incorrect grammar and correcting it without pointing out who made the offense. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. And we have an ah counter, Toastmaster Bastine.
Thank you. My name is Toastmaster Randolph Bastine, and the odd counter is responsible for noting the speaker's verbal pauses. That is the ahs, the ers, you knows, likes, and etc. And the offender, because we're meeting by Zoom now, we usually have a ding, but our tech masters are out today. So I'll just take note of that, and I will let everyone know at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Excellent. And you're also observing our Zoom performance, whether our background or sound or whatever else is going on. You can tell us about that at the end too. Let's see. Now what do? We do table topics. And the latest in table topics is Carmine Tuzo.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And before we begin with table topics, let's have a clarification of the timing element from our timer. Try to speak for at least a minute and a half or maybe two. Mr. Timer, what are the timing requirements?
The timing requirements are 1 to 2 minutes with a 30-second deviation only at the end. The green light will come on at 1 minute. The amber light will come on at 1 minute 30 seconds. The red light will come on at 2 minutes. If you go over 2 minutes and 30 seconds, watch out. Who knows what'll happen? Back to you, Mr. Topic Master.
Great. So today, table topics will consist of generally 2 words or maybe a short phrase that will evoke some type of comparison or compare and contrast in your mind. So you will be thinking kind of on the spontaneity to be your quintessential spontaneous self. So I need to know what are the times of the 2 speeches or 3 speeches so that I can adjust. Mr. Toastmaster.
They are both 5 to 7 minutes, so you got a little bit of extra time there.
So everybody can play.
Yeah.
Val, would you like to play with us? Give it a shot. I won't
Let
call
me
you
observe
first.
this morning.
You want to observe? Okay, well, if we go on a little bit and you change your mind, just raise your hand.
Thank
Okay.
you.
For our newest member, who is going to be a meditation expert, let's see how he comes up with the comparing and contrasting of shrinking and enlarging, shrinking and enlarging.
Mr. Topic Master, I'm guessing that's towards me.
That's you, our Zen,
Okay.
our Zen master.
Okay. Zen Master is not in my future, but I appreciate the word. So shrinking and enlarging. Boy, that is 2 things that can happen simultaneously in related ways, I guess. I'll see what I can invent here in a short moment. So one thing, I'm confident that nearly every day my brain is shrinking. So I'm confident of that. But my hopes and my joys, I think, are enlarging at the same time as well. As I move closer to full retirement and more time to do various things, I do notice that my body and my abilities slowly shrink. And I'm guessing that's going to continue, as I've heard from many. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. We're going to see how that goes. But in the meantime, we can still have a large and enlarging life. There is so much we can do with reading, with getting out in the world, with nature. I just look out the window right now and there's palm trees. When I'm in our Colorado house, I look out the window. I promise you, I don't see a single palm tree. So life is large, so much of the world to see. I recently did a trip. This morning we heard about Mary Helen's future trip. The world is large, so much to do and see. With that, back to Mr. Topic Master.
Thank you, thank you. Our next topic is frozen and thawed. Frozen and thawed. Toastmaster Paulo Barone, frozen and thawed. You're muted.
Thank you, Mr. Topic Master. Frozen and
Thawed. Thawed. Defrosted. Think of it as defrosting.
Oh, frozen and defrosted. Okay. A good example of frozen is my brain right now, this moment, because I didn't expect a table topic and I was getting ready to go on my gondola. I was almost with 1 foot on my gondola when I heard my name. But of course, I can never turn down a table topic. Doesn't matter if my brain is frozen. Let's try to frost. Okay, as you know, today we're going to go on this amazing ride on the Grand Canal. The weather, as you see, is beautiful. Sunshine, no clouds, it's a bright day, no wind, the perfect right temperature, the perfect time and weather for a gondola ride. I hope you're going to join. This is a practice for my ride in a few weeks, again on the Grand Canal, where you all invited. Today we're gonna have a rehearsal. There is not that many tourists around. We're going to enjoy the scenery. It's beautiful. It's the best time of the year here in Venice. It's not crowded. I'll see you all shortly. Don't miss it, this amazing gondola ride. Back to you.
Thank you. And next, let's hear from Anna Ilsen. True self, false self. True self, false self.
Mr. Table Topics Master. True self and false self. Actually, I believe that is one of your favorite topics, making the comparison. For me, my true self is when my outsides match my insides. In my younger years, I worked very hard. It was almost like a full-time job to put up a facade that everything was great, everything was fine. We were a perfect family. Everybody was happy, successful, but inside, I did not feel very happy. I felt a lot of pressure from many sides. I felt overwhelmed with a lot of things, with raising children and being a homemaker and having a full-time job and out of control teenagers and a 4-year-old and all that. But luckily, I had a turnaround. And with some outside help and learning a few new things, so that I started trying to fix myself from the inside out rather than from the outside in, which is what I had always tried to do. Dyeing my hair this color and that color and doing this diet and the other diet and wearing the designer clothes and all that. That to me is the false self. And true self is being authentic and sharing with other people what's really going on with me. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is for our TTM Kip Barkley. He's known as the double dipping wizard. The double dipping wizard. Tell us about the double dipping wizard.
Well, double dipping is accomplishing two goals at the same time. A wonderful way to get through one's day. One going to be finished by noon and then go take a nap. Yes, I like that. Whether I am, speaking in a Toastmasters contest and checking off a Pathways project, that sort of thing. Yes, double dipping, doing two things at once. That's called leverage. They told me back when I was in business I should consider leverage. I never had any. I'd work an hour and make $1, work 2 hours and make $2. Never got to do the same thing twice. I was like a gunfighter. The only time a gunfighter gets to do the same thing twice is if he messes up the first time and didn't get killed. That's how gunfighters work. Yes, hardly ever get to do the same thing twice. But double dipping is good. But got to watch out for those ricochets, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And next, let's hear from Toastmaster Tom Quinn. Tom Quinn. Joy and fret. Joy and fret. Fret is F-R-E-T. Worry. It basically is worry. Joy and fret.
Mr. Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, joy and fret. To me, there are simultaneous events. When I play my banjo, I fret it and I listen to the music that I play. Banjo music is quintessentially happy. You can't play a banjo with a sad melody. And that's why I like the banjo, and that's why I fret my banjo. And I've learned different positions on the neck of the banjo in order to make nice music. Banjos don't always sound really pleasant, but they have a lot of substance to them. They bring joy to me. And as I ponder my banjo music and listen to the words that were put together with the songs I've learned and their old tunes, they bring happiness to me and peace to my soul. And they help me see the paths that others have taken in their lives as they have struggled through the vicissitudes and the happiness that life has brought them. And I have joy and happiness this morning, spending some time with you. Mr. Topic Master, and good luck downtown today.
Thank you.
Go for it.
Speaking of a banjo, a number of years ago, I don't know if it still exists, there was a banjo band that practiced here in Pompano Beach, and I had a chance to see them a couple of times. When you see a band of 20, 25 banjos playing with, and also some other pieces, it's so enlivening. If you get a chance, I don't know if it still exists, a banjo band. Next, let's hear from Toastmaster Randolph Bastine. Movement and stagnation. Movement and stagnation. Toastmaster Bastine. Movement and stagnation.
Thank you, Mr. Topic Master. Movement and stagnation. Stagnation is something that I think everyone at some point in their life comes to a place where that they have to realize that, hey, they're stagnant. I think it's something that we all deal with, and to realize that is, as you said, that Scott may be like one of the mindful, what was that, the word you used? it comes to mind. And I think that those are the moments, those little parts is where we begin to actually live, when we realize that we're stagnant, because it happens without necessarily knowing. And it's movement that keeps us going and keeps us alive. It's movement that actually makes our day go. I like to tell people that the moment you stop is the moment you start to actually, decompose and go the opposite direction of most happy people want to go. So movement and stagnation, it's something that we can't avoid, because there are times where we should just be still, but it should always be by choice. And that should be a part of the movement when you're stagnated. Unconscious stagnation is, I would say, dangerous. So, and that's my take on that. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Back to you,
Great, thank
Mr.
you,
Topic Master.
Visiting guest Val, would you feel like playing? It's okay if you say no.
I'll give it a try.
Great, great. Toastmaster Val. Giving and receiving. Giving and receiving.
Giving and receiving. They're both one and the same. It is hard to give without receiving something spiritually. So once you give with the intent of creating joy for someone else, there's something that happens that creates a joy within you. And if you do it with other people, it creates a synergy that causes just an exponential joy that can't be described. It creates a bond between the people who are giving and the people who are receiving. Okay. Is that enough?
Oh, there's a green light on.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you. And I'm glad you played. You had a good time laughing a little bit too. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I've always been fascinated by different greetings in different religions. And generally, all these greetings are about giving and receiving. So in the Hebrew tradition, you meet a person, you say, Shalom Aleichem, and the other person says, Aleichem Shalom. In the Muslim tradition, they say it slightly different. They say, Salam Aleichem and Aleichem Salam. In the Hindu tradition, they say Namaste. And I don't know when you want to get into that one. But in different traditions, they all have a greeting of the spirit. Thank you, Toastmaster Val. We have time for one or two more.
I think it's time to move on with our program here.
Okay. Mr. Time Up, what do we do with regard to time?
Mr. Topic Master, everyone qualified. Scott, 1 minute 34. Paulo, 2 minute 11 seconds. Anna, 1 minute 44. Kip, 1 minute 11 seconds. Tom Quinn, 1 minute 31. Randolph, 1 minute 48. And Val, 1 minute 08. Please vote if a poll comes up.
Thank you. And I return control. I'm not turning the meeting over. I'm returning control of the meeting to our Toastmaster.
Thank you. We have several people capable of turning the meeting over. Here we traditionally have a break where we plan the rest of our meeting. Looks like it's pretty well done, but let's take 3 minutes, get coffee, scratch, do whatever. Yeah. Okay.
I just want to check with you, Randolph, is you were able to activate the poll, I take it, because I can't. I can write them, but I can't activate them since I'm not host, which is.
Yes.
I
And
saw it
should I
reply.
send the winners?
Perfect.
Should I
So
send
you
the winner
should-
to you and Kip, or just Kip?
Not to me.
Just Kip? Okay.
I'm
I'll
just
send-
tech. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'll see you next week. I have to leave to
dear.
go downtown.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Carmine.
Good luck, Carmine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hope everything goes
Good luck,
easily.
Carmine.
We're praying for you.
Coffee arrived. Life is good. So is everything figured? We'll just enjoy our coffee for a moment.
I'm second, right? I'm second.
Yes, you are the second speaker.
Would you please introduce me contest style? You know, name, title, name.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Kip, I put a little information on the Toastmasters website for the agenda, the name of the speech. Hopefully you got all that.
I got all that, unless you changed it recently, in which case I done got it, but okay.
No. I put it in yesterday.
Yeah, I got the latest, the greatest then.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Short
Love
and
it.
simple.
love it when this stuff works.
And
Well,
I would
Tom,
encourage other people to learn how to do the polls. It's easy peasy. Do it when you're timing, because timers should only do timing, but spread the wealth of knowledge.
Tom, my comment to your music is
Yes.
Mehaba, Teshegalash.
I thought I'd play that in the interim. Mary Helen hadn't heard the song, so I thought, well, I'll pick that up. I solved that problem.
Well, I learned a few things in Turkish for when we get there, but
Help me, where's the hotel? And where's the bathroom?
and we're at 3 minutes.
All right, it must be that time again. Welcome back. Call this meeting back to order. Earlybird Toastmasters. Here we will have our 2 prepared speeches. But first we have a timer. Mr. Timer, what's your deal? What are you doing?
Oh, I was sleeping. Sorry, had to wake up here. I needed that coffee. The prepared speeches are both 5 to 7 minutes with a 30-second deviation, both at the beginning and the end of the speech. I will turn on the green at 5 minutes, the yellow at 6 minutes, and the red at 7 minutes. And you'll have 30 seconds to complete it. Should you not be done on time, our famous Toastmaster may take some severe actions. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you. Our first speaker is in the new version of Level 1 Presentation Mastery, which has been expanded to several more projects. He is working on Intro to Vocal Variety and Body Language. So Scott May is presenting a speech focusing specifically on vocal variety and body language within this path. Its title is, Can You Say Glacier in Icelandic? I present to you our Scott May.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Well, I recently visited Iceland and it was amazing. Many of you have been there, so feel free to come off mute and just join the conversation. Iceland's landscape is incredible. Right from the start, exiting the airport, you immediately notice the ground is black volcanic rock with some moss, no grass, no trees, stark yet stunning. And in 20 minutes drive, you're at Blue Lagoon. 2+ acres of translucent blue water, the perfect temperature. There's a mineral face mask that made my beard oh so soft. And my kids' favorite part, the swim up bar. Hey, and driving along the northern coast, that drive is an adventure. The fjords with sheer mountain cliffs along narrow ocean inlets. Guardrails, you ask? Nah, well, sometimes. And Iceland, it's way up north. It's more northern than Anchorage. The winds whipping in off the ocean, the daily fog. Yes, quite a memorable driving experience. Hey, who needs Disney? And volcanic activity, it's everywhere. Craters, some of them more than a mile across. Geysers, mud pots, boiling ground. In fact, in many locations in Iceland, they bake bread in the ground. They mix the dough, they put it in a pot, they wrap it tightly with saran wrap, they grab their shovel, they bury it, come back in 24 hours, dig it out, rinse it off, take off the saran wrap, fresh baked bread. Hungry, anyone? And while they're doing that, they may throw in a few eggs. They hard boil in, I'm told, 13 minutes. Also, the black sand beaches, the basalt columns, the lava rocks, it's all over the island. And glaciers, 269 glaciers. In our own Glacier National Park in the US, less than 40 glaciers. We did a glacier excursion driving across the tundra. We're bouncing, going through rivers, lava boulders. These tires were huge, and the guide is constantly adjusting the pressure on the tires depending on what terrain. We get to the glacier, we hike up, we go into an ice cave, truly incredible. Well, by now, I'm sure everyone on this call, every Toastmaster here wants to go. And I look around, I see a few of you on your phone. I bet you're booking your flight right now. Yeah, and I totally get it. So let's get you ready for the trip. Let's learn Icelandic. I will share a screen here. Hopefully you can see this. Let's jump into presentation mode here. Wow. Can you see this? This is a picture of Blue Lagoon. And PowerPoint is coming together here. And here is a picture of us coming off the glacier. And here's a picture of the family in front of some of the basalt columns over here. And you see the black sand beach. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to learn Icelandic. So here is the start, the alphabet. All right, let's go. So A, I looked at this and said, A, like in bar, I can handle that. Oh, they have 2 A's with an accent. Oh, it's like ow. Well, this is getting tough. The B is like a P. There's no C. Where's D? D's like a T. Here's a D with an extra appendage, like TH. What? Then a deformed P, also TH. Oh my gosh, I am in trouble. 2 E's and F. Oh, look at G. Oh my gosh, if it takes a paragraph to describe how to say it, I can't get there. I'm ready to give up, but H, same as English. Whew, something, I'm getting some help here. The I's, the J is like a Y. These 4 letters are the same. And 2 O's with that accent. P and the R, and it's a rolling R. S and T are the same, the U. 2 U's, of course, and V, it's between V and W. VW sounds like a car. I just can't go there. 2 Y's, and then these unique letters. Looks like an A and an E merged together, and an O with 2 dots. It says, it's in English, it's like the U in fur. Okay. 2 L's. It's like TL. So it's like engaging the back of your jaw. It's like, if it sounds like you're gagging on lunch, you are saying it correctly. And these letters, no need. Okay, well, now the test. Now that you know the alphabet, help me say these words. This is a word you'll see right away. And here's how to say it. Reykjavik. Or if you're like a typical American, just say Reykjavik. They'll know what you mean. You'll still get there. Another town, Akureyri. I spent the whole week. By the end, I finally could say Akureyri. This one's one of the easier ones, Mývatn, another place. And here's glacier. So how do we say glacier? Well, you know that J is like a Y and those two O's, the O with the two dots is like the U in fur, and those two L's are like a TL. So it's like Yakov. Or if you just say Yakit, they'll kind of know what you mean. They'll point to the big icy place. That's a glacier. And here is your final exam. Whoever has the guts to say this word, it is quite a mouthful. And I'll show you how people say it in English. E15. They just don't go there. 16 letters, E followed by 15. I was so glad to hear this. You say E15, they know exactly the glacier you're talking about. Enjoy your trip to Iceland. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Scott and May. Please take a moment, send little notes in your chat to Scott. Cheer him up, perk him up. Our next contestant is practicing for a speech contest, and those introductions are more formal. I'll present to you Paulo Barone. Use it like an Italian. Use it like an Italian, Paulo Barone.
Volare, oh, cantare, oh, del blu, dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù. Buongiorno, good morning, Mr. Contest Chair and fellow Toastmasters. Welcome on my gondola. Sit down and relax while I take a tour of Venice and tell you all about Italian gestures. Yes. First, let me tell you what happened to me last year. Exactly a year ago, my wife was pregnant with a baby girl, Stella. One morning, I took her to the doctor for a routine checkup, a few exams and an ultrasound. While the doctor was performing the ultrasound, all of a sudden, my wife points at the screen and goes, Paulo, Paulo, look, what? The baby, she's doing this. Of course, she's Italian. She's telling the doctor, doctor, what do you want? Leave me alone, I'm sleeping. This is, with no doubts, one of the most known Italian gestures in the world. It's a simple question mark. What do you want? What is that? Where are you going? Now, the intensity of the question then varies depending on how vigorously you shake the hand or if you use both hands instead of one. It goes from a simple, what do you want? To a more intense, what the F you are? Leave me alone, In Italy, we like to say a gesture is worth 1,000 words. We pretty much have a gesture for almost any situation. We can have an entire conversation without saying a single word. Hand gesture, facial expressions, body movements, all those elements part of the body language communication. We don't think about it. They just come out spontaneously. When it comes to body language, we simply rule. And here's another one for you. This is the most feared gesture for a kid in Italy. When your mother does this, it means you did something wrong. You're in trouble. You better run and hide because if you're caught, boom, you're spanked. And growing up as a kid, I saw my mother doing this almost every day. Of course, during the day she wouldn't catch, but at night, at night was a different story. She would calmly come to my bed with a broomstick in her hands and would go like this. Paulo, do you remember what you did this morning? Boom! Are you going to do this again tomorrow? Boom! You better not. And of course, the next day was the same story again. Paolo, Paolo, se ti prendo, ti spezzo in due. Ah! Typical Italian from the south of Italy, Italian mother. They're all like that. And then, when it comes to food, we have the king of all Italian gestures. We do this when we taste something beyond good, beyond delicious. We do it when we taste something out of this world. It's not just the hand sparring up. It's the hand, the face, the whole body gets involved in the execution of this gesture. Last night, I had for dinner one of my most favorite Italian dishes, the burrata. For those of you who are not familiar with the burrata, it's a special kind of mozzarella. It's a mozzarella filled, stuffed with shredded mozzarella and cream. Firm on the outside, soft and creamy at the inside. You don't open the burrata with a knife. No. You use a fork. You put the fork on the top and you press it gently until the surface breaks. And once it breaks, wow! It's like a volcano, an eruption of flavors. Well, when I tasted the burrata last night, mamma mia, it was indeed out of this world. Gino, mannaggia a te, dove stai andando? Vediamoci dopo per un caffè, sì, al bar quello dietro l'angolo, va bene. Ciao bello, ciao. I'm so sorry, that was Gino, another gondolier, a friend of mine. I told him, Gino, where are you going? Let's get together later for an espresso. Yeah, the espresso bar around the corner. My fellow Toastmasters, this is just a taste of what we got. It's whatever I could fit into a 5 to 7 minute speech for you. Of course, you're always welcome on my gondola for much more. And remember, 80% of communication is body language. 80%. Body language is not just important, it's imperative. Therefore, my fellow Toastmasters, when you speak, use your body language effectively. Use it like an Italian. Volare. Oh, cantare. Oh, nel blu, dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù. Grazie, arrivederci, Mr. Conte-Chair.
Thank you so much, Paulo Barone. Please take a moment, send notes in the chat. Figure out how to put a gesture in the chat and put it in there too. Mr. Timer, how'd our man with the gestures do?
Both of our speakers qualified. Scott May at 6 minutes and 7 seconds and Paulo Barone at 6 minutes, 21 seconds. Please vote.
Please vote. A poll will appear and we get to vote. Da-da. Oh, let's see here. I should vote too. I should vote. I vote more because of the poll, because it's in my face. I like that. But what else is in our face? Our evaluations. We're moving on to that now. And to lead us in evaluations, our general evaluator, Pam Scrimshire.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Yes, I'm Pam Scrimshire, your general this morning. And I'm going to lead in the third section of our meeting, which I really think is the most important. It's unique to Toastmasters because it does two things. It gives feedback, specific feedback to speakers, but it also gives us a chance to really pay attention. And as I understand it, attention is something lacking in this world. So come here, be an evaluator and practice. But as everything in Toastmasters, there are time limits. Mr. Timer, how long do our get to speak?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. The evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes. with a 30-second deviation both at the beginning and the end. At 2 minutes, the green light will come on. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the yellow light. And at 3 minutes, the red light will come on. When you see that you have gone beyond 2 minutes or 3 minutes and 30 seconds, you will see Pam waving her arms and telling you,
Yes.
get off, enough is enough, done already. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. Yes, I will practice with my body language for sure. Okay, evaluating our first speaker, Toastmaster Scott May, is our DTM Toastmaster, Mary Helen.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests, and especially Scott. Oh, Scott, I am so glad you're back. We missed you, and I didn't realize how much we missed you until you got back here, and we could participate in your intelligent witticisms, your well-constructed speeches, everything that you are as a person, you bring to what you contribute to the club and to your speeches as well. So I have no problem with that. Now you chose a pathway, which is dynamic leadership. So that shows that, hey, you're interested in being some sort of leader, and you will, and you already are. But now the challenge is you to do vocal variety and gestures in your very first speech. Well, where are we? We're on camera here. This is more difficult, but you transcended that by patting your ears and lifting your hand and making those gestures as you were making those exquisite descriptions of Iceland. Now, I've been there, but it was always usually nighttime. Now I want to go back and see everything that you saw in the daytime, because I know it was a lot of time in the day when you were there. So you made me want to go there, and that was great. And also you showed a fantastic example of these, how do you learn a language? My God, listen, they have all these things in every single language, and we're saying, how are we ever going to do this? And we can hardly try to do that, but you try to teach us, and I will give you an A+ for trying to teach us. Now, hey, Scott, we are in a brave new world here, which is Zoom. You're on camera, and I hated the thought of it because I can't stand anyone even taking pictures of me. So can you imagine how it is to have everyone look at you all meeting long and seeing how you're in front of your camera? So let me give you a couple of suggestions, and I'm not really the best one to do it, but it's just what I thought. First of all, your positioning in your camera is kind of odd. Now, I'm not sure if you have a laptop or a regular computer and that's your screen, but you appear to be a little bit far away from where. Now, if you look at Pam Scrimshire, see where she is she's centered right in the middle of the camera. She's right presenting herself in the screen, and it shows, and that's a good way to be. You may want to get a new camera. If your camera is what's on your computer or your laptop already, it's kind of fuzzy. We want to see you in a more clear focus. The other reason that we may want to see you in a different direction with the camera is because you are obviously reading your speech. How did I know that? Because you were looking down and your eyes never moved because they were reading the words off the page. You want to fool us a little bit. So maybe if you change that position with the screen and do some things, it may take you a while to get to be where we want you to be and where you want to be in this brave new world of Zoom. Because believe me, we may not see each other in person anymore. I know you're going to give a lot of in-person speeches, but you're also going to give speeches to the camera many, many times. So take these couple suggestions. We're so happy you're back. I'm happy you're back. And please keep speaking because I love what you have to say. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day. Yes, I think I've decided an additional aspect of Toastmasters that's inspiring us for the next trip that we hope to take, even if we have to take it through speeches because we're not flying that far. Our second evaluator, evaluating our very own now manual laborer, is Toastmaster Tom Quinn.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and particularly and specifically Paulo. Buongiorno! Peak of the day to listen to you talking about Italian gestures and the importance of body language. Your voice was clear, your facial expressions were excellent, You had a wonderful picture behind you of St. Mark's Square. And I was looking for a picture of Harry's Bar, which is right down the canal, where I spent an hour or two having a wonderful Italian drink. I can't read something that they had with lemon and stuff, but what I did isn't important. What you did was wonderful. Great. There was a time during your talk, however, that your volume fell off a little bit. So whatever problem you have with the microphone, I want you to make sure that that volume does not decrease. You keep up the momentum and the importance of speech. I thought it was absolutely clever when you talked about your baby and the body language of your child doing this, and your explanation to your wife of what she was asking for. That was cute, humorous. You ended well with the idea of 80% of what we say is what we project. Voice is important, no question, but 80% is gestures, body language, and it is so important. You could have talked about an Italian girl walking by and the vibrations that she sends out, but you didn't. It's okay. I would expect that from an Italian man, though. I think you did a good job. I think your expressions were good. Your vocal variety was excellent. The way you came across was good. I liked your shirt, and I have a striped shirt like that, and I almost was going to put it on, and I thought, well, no, that'd be a little corny for me to do that, and it would take away from what you did, and I don't want to do that. I like the way you presented your whole package, well thought together. You sing so well, Paulo. Really and truly, you did a wonderful job. I enjoyed your talk very much. I can't consider too much that would really change other than the microphone volume. That would be it. That would be it. Good job. Thank you. It was entertaining and informative. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Quinn. Mr. Timer, how did our evaluators do? Did they meet the timing requirements?
Both of our evaluators made the timing requirements, and they were extremely close. Mary Helen Day, 3 minutes, 2 seconds. Tom Quinn, 3 minutes on the money. Please vote.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. So I have the opportunity to evaluate the whole meeting, which is why I love being general evaluator. I encourage you all to step up to this position. And I think, as usual, we do a wonderful job. My only comment, we start on time, which when we're early birds, that's always been our claim. We start on time, we end on time, because some people do have jobs. Some people need to get to places. And it's really important, as we say, don't punish the prompt, don't start late. Start on time, finish on time. And we do a good job on all of our roles. One thing that we need to do, and we're going to have it for the next 3 weeks, so you have an opportunity to step up. Our professional geeks are off goofing off in, I think it's the Maldives, scuba diving or something, and leaving us. And we need to step up to those positions. So we know some of the things that they do that just sort of happens without one's noticing. I've learned to do polls. I encourage you, if I can do them, y'all can do them. But to get the meeting started, to have the pledge ready, to have the flag ready. I suspect we will not have drum rolls for the winners, but I'm not sure we need to do that. But it gives us an opportunity, because here we're very forgiving. If it turns out that we don't do it perfectly, hey, we'll let you do it again next week or next month and have another try at it. So I really encourage it. I'd like to have, if possible, the report. So let's start with the grammarian.
Here, hold on a second. What I hit something. Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. First of all, I would commend I believe everybody used the word of the day, quintessential, at least one time during our meeting. The great things that were said were during table topics, I think. Scott said he was talking about shrinkage and enlarging and about his brain shrinking. And he said something about as he's getting older. I guess that's what happens because that's what everybody tells me. Hey, Scott, don't believe what other people tell you. Live your own life. You don't have to get old. And then Kip Barkley, double dipping wizard, accomplishing 2 goals at the same time. Tom Quinn, I love Tom Quinn. You cannot play sad music on a banjo, and especially when you're dealing with vicissitudes and happiness. Randolph, unconscious stagnation is dangerous. I agree with you. And Val, giving with others creates synergy and exponential joy. Great, great concept there. Scott, when you were describing the terrain of Iceland, you described it as stark yet stunning. I like those words together because it gives you a nice picture. So let's see, Mary Helen Day talked a couple of times about we are in a brave new world of Zoom, and she welcomes Scott back because she loves his
Uh-oh, I think the Starlink may be.
Richmond.
Okay. Oh, are you back, Alita?
Alita,
You're back.
Could you repeat the last few things you said because we lost it for a little bit?
You want me to get
the last couple of concepts.
Yeah, that's that message that I get when I check my visibility on my, I need to talk to the geeks about this. It says you will have an interruption every 1 to 2 minutes. And that interruption is like a freeze frame, whatever. I don't know how to deal with it yet. I'm still working on that. But y'all did great. Y'all did great. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richmond. And our awe counter, Toastmaster Bastine, how many ums and ahs and things did we do?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. That was one there. I had like 2, and as far as it wasn't a lot, I really was listening. This is a great club. There's another one for me. So I'm practicing, but I just wanted to acknowledge just a few things. One with the question of, wanted to acknowledge Paulo with his pauses, like, because he was totally thrown off with his table topic, because like he said, he was practicing, he didn't expect, and just once again, there was no us, and it's like he will pause, and in his gestures, as in his speech, he would use his gestures to, fill in this pause, and as he's thinking to go on, it was excellent. Something I would like to learn and apply to my speaking. And Tom had a few ands, which I do have a question about the ands, because when we're speaking, as far as I know, as far as writing, we don't want too many run-on sentence, but I don't know if it applies the same when speaking. So that'll be a question that I'll throw out to the group. And Tom, I just wanted to also say that's a beautiful picture. I just imagine you playing the banjo. I have a friend that plays banjo. So one day you probably should show us a little bit of you on the banjo. I'm picturing that. And back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bastine. Yes, I'm picturing the banjo on the gondola, and I'm planning to be there. So, we have had music meetings. I believe Toastmaster Mary Helen Day was in charge of them, and Toastmaster Becky Jo Bean. We all on a music theme. I can see that in our future. I am distracted this morning because I have a quintessential cat who wants to be in the room scratching. You can hear her now. When I let her in, she wants to scratch to be out. So if I keep getting distracted, it's all on her. I think that's all I need as general evaluator. Back to Mr. Toastmaster. Toastmaster Barkley.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wonderful. Oh, I wanted to hear if Randolph has any observations on our video and sound stuff that here.
As far as the videos, everything was good. Alita, even with the pauses, the Starlink is much better. Like you're way clearer. When outside of the pauses, we hear you perfectly. And I say, Paulo, it's almost as if you have a video podcast going on because you have the green screen, the mic. So maybe you're preparing for it. Maybe that's going to be the future. So everyone, and as Mary Helen said, as far as the positioning, I know I'm off to the side. I'm not really in the center of the screen, but that's my setup because I have other meetings and you see my background. That's why I'm off to the side for the most part. But well, all in all, I think we have really truly grown to fit Zoom, and we are going to continue to grow. And I'll actually look into, there's apps I know on Zoom, so I'll look into trying to get some sounds so I can help out while the ghouls are gone, because I do know that there's apps we can download and use with the Zoom platform. So I'll check into that. Thank you. Back to you.
Right? Yeah, Zoom keeps updating. So you go to resources and update your Zoom client and see what strange things appear. I was looking over at Val. Now she raised her camera up some. It'd be even more flattering appearance of her there. See, it's kind of looking up at you, and that's more like it there. Yeah. This Zoom is not going away. COVID's gonna, but the Zoom is not. Hey, we got a whole bunch of winners today, but I will announce the folks who got the most votes. Why, for table topics, it was Val. That's pretty good. You showed up. You just go for the green. I mean, Carmine likes to go for the red. We know about Carmine, but green is, you get to green, you got it made. Best evaluator, Mary Helen Day. And best speaker, Paulo Barone. He's headed for the contest again. Gonna go give them all a real run. Let's see, great meeting. We had mention of, we have had theme meetings before. We could have a musical meeting if somebody wanted to go lead that. We could have a banjo meeting. I don't know how banjo will come across on a cell phone microphone. That's a little frightening, but we can do that. And then coming up in May, we're going to have tall tales where you can tell anything but the truth. All exaggerations are good, especially if they're funny. So that one is coming up. Anybody have
Excuse
thoughts?
me, do we have a date for that yet?
Yeah, that is May 12th. So plan on that. So the master of ceremonies exaggerates, the tellers exaggerate, the evaluators exaggerate, the timer might even exaggerate. Who knows? Those things are fun. Let's see, one of our musical programs, I think we had a kazoo chorus going, and that was just dazzling. Everyone turned their speakers off right away when that started. But think about it. Think about it. Any crazy theme you want.
So
Oh.
Kip, maybe we should take a vote when we feel that we need to do the 60th anniversary next year? What month?
What month? I have not been informed. Oh, your travel plans. And I'm going to Norway in February, so we can't do it then.
Well, how long are you going to be gone, Kip?
That's a couple of weeks or so. I
Okay.
did a speech on running the church pledge drive. So next year when the pledge drives comes around, I'm in Norway. I know how not to get asked to do it again.
Mary Helen, are you talking about 2023?
Yes, we're talking
Yeah.
about
Okay,
2022.
so probably the easiest way to do that is to do some sort of like Survey Monkey or something to say what times people are available, and then it funnels down to.
Yeah.
Sometimes what we did at our Harley Owners Group that's coming up this year for our 35th anniversary, we're having it on the same day that the organization was founded. So do we know the date that
It was in February.
this,
Jen.
Oops.
So, you know
Several days.
what? You know what, Kip, maybe you should check the dates of your trip. If you're gone for
Yeah.
2 weeks, are you going to be gone for 2
Something
weeks?
like that, something like 2 weeks. I thought we were founded the same day Kennedy got shot, but I would have to go look because there's more than one date for our founding.
All right, and some
But-
suggestions, because a lot of us haven't made plans for vacations, but some have. So you're right, we should find out what that is and the best months to come down. I don't think Alita would want to come down in the middle of the summer, would you?